Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks, Ben, for stealing all my time. I'll go very quickly. Traditionally, Endemol is a TV production company. We're very large around the world. We produce reality shows and game shows. So why are we here talking about storytelling, making money out of digital drama? Well, I think we've learned everything we know from Ben Grass, which is why we invested in his company 18 months ago. Endemol's all around the world, and we're trying to scale a business in digital that learns from our big television brands. Big Brother was the beginnings of it all, as we learnt how to get a loop between the website and the TV show in reality TV. We've done it with game shows, with extensions and games. We're not best known for our drama, although we do produce a lot of drama around the world. Probably half our output, but mainly in non-English speaking languages. So we're best known for these big shows out here, which are game show based or reality based. But I think the thing we've seen as a traditional TV production company is that everything is changing very fast. We were only able to produce Big Brother back 10 years ago because technology allowed us to wire up a big house with cameras, and the edit equipment allowed us to turn around stories 24 hours after they'd happened in a house for half an hour or hour's worth of content. That was unheard of 10 years ago and is now part and parcel of what goes on. So technology has driven changes in audience behaviour, changes in production, and hence the business models that go with them. Ben eloquently talked about how advertisers and studios and commissioners are getting involved, but Endemol itself has a big distribution business behind it, and we also have liked to explore how business models can learn from television and how we could maybe create a market for digital content that could be sold all around the world, much as our TV business has. So we're borrowing from the old business models there and learning from the new, and how consumers are changing their behaviour. They're watching content online more, on their computers, on their desktops, more iPhone sales, more Google phones. How do you engage those? Farmville, the biggest game on the internet, it's all funded by micropayments. But there is a gap between usage and advertising. We've all got to be aware of that. So suddenly, advertising doesn't change everything for us. It's hard work out there, and we need multiple business models. The encouragement for the future is that Martin Sorrell thinks that digital advertising will be big. We're waiting for it not just to be search, to be about funding our shows in the future. So Endemol is about extending its shows in the normal area, and we can get a vast number of video clips and game extensions off the big TV brands. But as we create original brands for the digital platforms, we need to build brands from scratch and find funding models that match. Here are a couple of shows that we've done in the last 12 months with video view as a metric for it. But increasingly, we're being told by advertisers who fund these shows that it's less about the passive viewing, it's more about the engagement and the interaction. And Procter & Gamble recently said that their brand, one of their brands, would only be valued in a digital space based upon the engagement between content and the brand. So in that case, we have to change the way we create programming and storytelling. And we began 18 months ago in the drama sphere, and we learnt this from Ben in how do you create a drama that could be 2 minutes, 4 minutes, 40 minutes and 90 minutes, and create the storytelling around it. We wanted to find a way to create digital content that would sell in many places around the world. So we came up with a green screen action drama. We had to produce it cheaply, so we went for a sort of green screen and CGI look to it. We wanted interactivity. We created a game around it. We launched it on mobile first, a bit like Ben mentioned earlier. And then we got the money from O2 on the promise we'd get their money back through international distribution. So there wasn't any more advertiser engagement in it or product placement beyond O2 itself. We said we'd make a good enough show that we would sell it around the world. And we have done, and we've made a second series with Ben. Here, hopefully, if technology works, is a clip.
Come on. Hey! Can somebody open the door?
Where am I?
You're exactly where you belong.
No, you're confused, man. I don't belong here. Who is this? Hello?
That was Cell, produced for about £100,000 for a mobile platform. We've sold it into the US via Sony that Ben mentioned. FX channels picked it up around the world, and then after their window we sold it into Korea, France, all around the world as both mobile and web-based show. We got the DVD rights were picked up after we sold the second season back to Sony and FX again. So the point I'm making with this show is that you can actually you can't just rely on the advertising dollars, but if you can create a good enough drama that can work on many platforms, there are distribution revenues around the world to fund your show. You may need to find someone to take the risk in the first place, but hopefully there will be a reward there, much as drama is sold in the television world. Cell 2 has just launched in the US. If any of you are viewers of the FX channel here in the UK or through Europe, they've been showing little episodes on TV to drive you to their website, and they're delivering pre-roll ads. So again, mixing the different platforms, the advertising models that go with it. And I think one area that I wanted to close on is that our ability to distribute content and find financing through advertisers has attracted people like Paramount Pictures and Sony to explore how they could take some of their small-scale movies that have multi-million-dollar production budgets and see if they can create a new window for theatrical television or DVD, what they call direct-to-digital. We've been helping out both those studios find distribution and advertising dollars based upon our experience before. Circle of Eight is a Hollywood-produced movie just about to launch on MySpace in the US, with the hope that it will do that window, go onto a TV window and through DVD and all the normal Hollywood-type windowing. It's the freemium model where it's given away free first, with ad dollars funding it, tries to overcome the pirating issues that people have with Hollywood studios, tries to build a brand before it hits theatrical or TV. And we're starting to see the Hollywood studios do this with some of their movies. The second one we've been working on is Woke Up Dead, a Sony Pictures funded show. And this one will launch on Crackle again in October, and we hope to roll this out through Europe next year. So I think people are learning from the business models and the way to fund these shows. So I think that was all I wanted to say. And for those that are twittering about my slides, I do apologise for the 1995 look about them. Thank you. I think we have a few moments for questions, and not about my slide makeup, if that's okay. In the middle at the back.
I don't know if it's appropriate to ask, but you had said with Cell 1 and Cell 2 that the production budget was about £100,000, and that you had sold it in various different territories and different distribution models. Was the profit margin for you guys significant?
Just to be clear, Cell 1 was a £100,000 budget. Cell 2 was higher because Sony and Fox were prepared to invest more money. I think we were able to afford a helicopter, bigger bangs, and more fighting for the second season. So it looked a bit better, slightly bigger green screen and all that. I would say for us as a case study at Endemol, we made a significant profit margin on that. We paid back the money that came from the original commissioner, and we made money for ourselves. So I think £100,000 isn't necessarily the traditional budget that Endemol works with, but we proved the case of returning money to the originator and making a what's the easiest way of saying? Many times it's money back as a profit, if that's the best way of saying it. So I think it shows that digital distribution and license fees that come with it is a business model that's worth considering. One over there.
Would you say that's mainly because you had access to all the social networking from all the other programs that Endemol has done previously?
No, actually, this we do for a lot of our digital productions. We do leverage our other shows that have fan bases or stuff like that to cross promote them. With Cell, we went down a route of a purely licensing route to Sony and the Fox vertical channels. We didn't necessarily drive the community around it. We left it to those guys who are distributors to do that for us. And I think probably Fox did it better than Sony. Sony's Crackle website is a bit like a fancy version of YouTube. It's more of a video-based portal. Very little interactivity, although that's improving. Fox went down a route of really using TV as the marketing vehicle to drive people online. There was a game that they built, and they invested nearly as much money in the game as they did in the drama. And the game in many countries around the world, in particularly South America, drove more plays and interactivity than the video views. But they felt that was as equal a success as people watching the video, because it helped brand involvement and their return on investment. So the old chat about games and video coming together, I think, has been proven as a model. In fact, the game was released before the video, and if you got to the end of the game, it would unlock the first video views before the original premiere. So I think there's some interesting ways of driving traffic and interest in these shows beyond marketing dollars and social media. Any more questions? Well, thank you very much.